At the end of the 8th pauri, Guru Sahib ends with a question, which dunya kahe aaya? So the first 8 verses were all looking at this opportunity that's available to you to transform. And how do you transform? That manas to devta is that you immerse yourself in praise. You immerse yourself in looking at the universe in a different way. And then towards the end of it, the verse came speaking about Homme, that Guru now introduces this idea that you have an obstacle, which is why you're not able to immerse yourself in praise. And then presents this question, well, why are you here? What's the point of your life? And what Guruji now goes on to do is to look at the different lifestyles that people lead, all the different ways that people choose to live their life. After asking this question, well, what is the purpose of your life? Now Guruji examines all the different types of lives. And Guruji here describes especially the religious types, the ones who consider themselves religious. And Guru starts to now highlight that it is a waste of your time to enter into religious practices. And it's very easy for us to sit and read and listen to these Vanis, and because the references are all to do with Hindu practices or Islamic practices, it's very easy for us to assume that the Guru is criticizing other religions. But the Guru is not criticizing other religions. Guru is criticizing the hypocrisy of looking religious and acting religious without actually understanding what the point of it is. The truth of the matter is that Guru Nanak Dev Ji would say the same thing to you and me, and does say the same thing to you and me. You can easily just replace all of those practices with Sikh practices, and the Guru is talking to us just as much as he was talking to the people that he was surrounded by at that time. So let's look at some of the fruitless religious actions that Guru is talking about. Reading spiritual wisdom. Reading spiritual wisdom. Dressing religiously. Going on religious pilgrimage. Going to Tirath. Walking barefoot. Thinking that you're doing something religious just because you're taking your shoes off and walking barefoot. Specifically is mentioned. All of these are useless if it adds to your sense of self. If you do any of these things, the things that you're doing is not the problem. It's that if they add to this feeling that I am doing them, this homme which Guru introduced in the first 8 verses towards the end, if you feel that I am doing them, then all of your religious actions are a waste of time. And we must reflect on that within our own tradition. Doing anything, including Path, Nityanem, Akhand Path, Panch Kakar, we must address these things. We cannot hide behind these things and assume that we are being good Sikhs because we are reading the right things, we are looking the right way, we are sounding the right way, we're going to all the right places. If you are doing that, you are not understanding the Guru's wisdom. It is not about whether you should do any of these things or not. Guru doesn't care what you do. Guru cares about the ultimate truth, that you are deluding yourself that you are important, that you exist, that all of these religious actions are somehow going to help you. Guruji says that Homme is creating a dukh for you. Homme is creating suffering for you, and the way that it works is through this love of duality. Anything that you are doing which is under the impression that I am doing this to please God. That is duality. Me over here, God somewhere over there. As long as you're doing any of these religious actions, it doesn't matter that you think that the Guru has given you these actions. It does not make a difference that you think you're following Guru Gobind Singh Ji's Khalsa Rath. It does not make a difference as long as you believe that in this duality, that you are over here and you're doing it to please your Guru. And then Guruji goes on to explain something very interesting, a concern that I know a lot of us have. Guruji now goes on to explain that it's not only the religious people that are deluded, even the worldly people, like youngsters who say, I don't believe in religion, I don't need any religion, I just want to go and earn lots of money. Even those people are wasting their time. And then Guruji goes on to explain that those people are also living under this same delusion. Guruji starts to talk about a very interesting way of looking at life. Guruji uses the word kood. That if you think that you've got no need for any sort of dharam, any sort of spirituality or religion in your life, then if you are a king and the whole world follows you, Guruji has reduced you down to a very interesting word, kood, rubbish, filth, stuff that you throw away in the bin, rotting. Your whole life is a waste. Kood Raja, kood Parja, kood Sab Sansar. The whole world is absolute false and filth, trash. Kood Mandap, kood Madi, kood Besanhar. So your big, large houses and earning lots of money, absolute filth. Kood Soina, kood Rupa, kood Penanhar. All your nice clothes and jewelry, and today we might talk about having flashy technology and the latest iPhones or smartwatches and all these sorts of things, absolute waste of time. Even the person wearing it is filth. Kood Kaya, kood Kapad, kood Rupapar. Your body is false. The clothes that you are putting on them is filth. Kood Miya, kood Bibi, Kapoy Kar. Your husband is filth, your wife is filth. And you keep arguing and wasting your life. Kood Koode Nelaga Visrya Kartar. Kis naal kiche dosti, sab jag chalanhar. Filth is in love with filth because it forgets that which is original, that which is the final, authentic, primal thing that is here. We have forgotten it all. Whom shall I become friends with when the whole world is temporary? So here, Guru Sahib gives us a clue as to what the solution is. Sab jagat chalanhar, that's the problem. The ultimate problem with both religious people and atheist worldly people is that we are both deluded by this idea that we are important, that what we do in life is important, that life is about our story. We wake up and we think that this is my story, I have to live my life today. That is the kood, no matter how religious you look, no matter how nicely you dress, no matter how much Gurbani you've memorized. You are wasting your life because you haven't understood a very important word, Sach. So the antidote, the solution to this poison is that you have to recognize Sach. And the word Sach does not mean truth. The word Sach means permanence. We are wasting our time not realizing that everything is impermanent. That is what makes it kood. Kisanal kiche dosti, sab jag chalanhar. Everything is temporary. Everything is falling away. Everything is born to die. Yeah? Sabna marna aya. We're all here to die. From the day that you are born, your time is ticking. Every birthday that you celebrate is a delusion that you're gaining something. You're not gaining anything. You're losing more days. You're getting closer and closer to your death. You're not getting any older. In fact, you're getting younger. Days are shortening. Life is coming to an end. So such is the solution, and we must focus on that which is permanent. We have to understand that such is working through us. That permanent essence is what is doing everything. That permanent essence of such life force, Akal Purkh, whatever you want to call it, that is what is waking you up in the morning. That is what is moving. That is the blood that is flowing in your veins. That is what's causing our hearts to beat. That's such, that life force, that primal essence. And as long as you've forgotten that, you are stuck in this home. I am the one doing everything. If you realize that you are temporary, behind you is something permanent. The way I like to describe it to my children is as though you have a toy robot and you put the batteries in the robot and it starts to move. And the robot thinks, I am moving. I am the one moving my legs and moving my arms. But the toy robot doesn't understand that it is the batteries inside that is causing this electricity inside you. You take the batteries out, you're nothing. You take the electricity out of you, you are nothing. You take the Sach, the Waheguru, the permanence out of you, you are nothing. You are walking corpses. You are dead bodies. The only difference between us and a dead body is that we have that force of Akal Purkh moving inside our veins. That we must remember. But how do you remember this? Guruji then confuses us and says that it only happens by grace. You can't do anything about it. Well, there's only one thing that you can do about it, which is that you can beg for it. You can ask the Guru every single day, please let me remember that you are the primal force of life. And when you don't, you walk around in dukh. You walk around in this idea that you think everything is okay. But the reality is that when real problems come in our life, that's when we start to remember that something isn't right. And then Guruji talks about the dukh daru shabds. The suffering in your life is the only way that you actually forces you to wake up, forces you to realize that life isn't in your control. Dukh daru sukh rog bhaya ja sukh tam na hoye. What's the solution? Tu karta karna main nahi. You're doing everything. I can't do anything. Jaho kari na hoye. And then the final solution, which was presented to us right at the beginning, Guruji is amazing, always gives us the answer first, then the explanation. The solution to all of this is surrender. Surrender this idea that you have any control, you're doing anything, or you have any power to do anything. Tu karta karna main nahi, jaho kari na hoy, balhari kudrat vasya. Yeah, right at the beginning, Guruji starts with balhari gurapne. So the solution to this is you surrender yourself, give yourself up, and focus on that which is such. Balhari kudrat vasya. I sacrifice my sense of self to that essence that is in all of kudrat. We think, I am in this body. You have to give up that idea. And you have to look, what is in everybody? What is in all of creation? Balhari kudrat vasya. That thing which has no end. Tera ant na jayega.